What's going on, guys? This is OJ Light, and we are gonna try something a little new tonight. I think it's gonna be fun. Um, it's been a while since I did a live stream. If you've seen any of my videos, I've had a few real life things come up that's been eating my time, but I'm gonna try to get more content out for you guys. So let's kind of get into it. So if anyone's been watching this channel, you know I originated from the Good Looking Loser forums. Now, if you don't know what that is, if you don't know what the Good Looking Loser forums are or were, it was a blog a forum attached to a blog, and on the forum, well, the blog dealt with basically everything I talk about, right? Maybe and some other things I don't. Big life improvement things: getting a six pack, getting hung, getting laid, making money, getting ripped, the whole thing, right? And then there was a forum attached to it, and where people would journal or log their progress through self improvement. Okay, and that was basically the crux of the website. So I thought it would be fun if I returned back to those roots and we have an actual blank journal in front of us, and if we just kind of do it nightly, anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour, and just kind of go through the day, what I did, things I learned, and then like some tech things I want to get done tomorrow. Now, the objective of this, the real objective of this is kind of to inspire some people to do something similar. Also, I would say there's a lot of so I'm not the only one who said this on YouTube. There was a lot of advice given. There was a shit ton of advice given out, but there's very little like action taken. Like, you don't actually see people take action on YouTube. You generally see people give advice on how to achieve A, B, and C, but you never actually watch the process of them achieving it. Now, that's not every YouTube channel, but I'd say that's a big problem, right? There's very little implementation. So this is really going to be about implementation, right? So let's kind of just get into it, right? So let's get this journal. Let's get this journal going. We're gonna actually see me do some implementation right off the bat, right? So we need to write down. I like to write these down. I like to keep this. Pretty well course. What are the three main good-looking loser goals, right? It's get a six-pack, right? 100 lays, cash millionaire, right? That's a lot. To do all that's a lot. It's a lot. I think that is like a lifetime worth of goals I just wrote down, guys, right? And then there's probably stuff after, like Chris, the good-looking loser. He hit all these, and he's gone well beyond $1 million. I believe he said he is 200 mil. Can you see that? I might have to play with the camera angle as the weeks go on, right? So that's some big things right there. But that's a lot, right, guys? That is a huge amount of work. So let's get the six-pack thing, right? I saw a picture. It's actually on the blog. I'm going to say 200 pounds. I think 200 pounds, that'd be close. Might not have it, but we'll say 200 pounds, right? So 200 pounds, and right now we are at, let me look at my actual thing. I am at, it's been a hard 3 months. 259.2 LBS, right? And I am nowhere near being a millionaire. And this one, we'll say 6. But I'm going to put like in parentheses 0, because I would like to have like actual reports. But 6, but unconfirmable. Right? Alright, so there we go. There we go. Alright, so let's break this down, right? So trying to do any of this is a big one. So let's do the 6-pack one, right? Let's tackle the 6-pack, right? Let's make a miniature goal. Let's make a miniature goal of, right, 245 lbs, right? That is closer to 200 than basically 260. So that's going to be goal number 1, okay? Goal number 1. And goal number 2 for this, we're going to call this like season 1. I don't know if this is going to take 6 weeks, 6 months, whatever. We're going to work on this. So get to 245 pounds, right? That's 1. Now I want to talk about the money goal right now, because actually this has been on my mind. Because I've noticed when I financially struggle, my weight goes up, right? So this is something I've noticed. When I financially struggle, I'm going to write that down, right? That's a note. When I struggle with money, slow down, my weight goes up. And the reason I've been struggling with money is I've made the comment that my one of my family members is sick, and I've not been working as much as I've been taking time off that help them. But this does cause, so not only is it an emotional struggle, but it is a financial struggle. And it adds to the stress, which makes me eat more, which makes me gain weight. So I've noticed this. It's a past pattern, and because I know it's a pattern, I know that if I had more financial options, it would alleviate a lot of the stress, right? So we got to ask ourselves, what can we do to make more cash, right? So this is just me thinking out loud. And I actually, so this sounds crazy, guys, but so I'm gonna tell a little story. When I was younger, I used to bake in competitions. I used to do baking competitions. Actually, I met a girl through this. I met she thought it was the coolest thing, or I impressed a girl with this. She thought it was the coolest thing ever that I did baking competitions. But anyways, the thing I want to get through that is that I have a particular recipe that I designed that I got like 4th place, but it's very good, very good. And recently I made it for somebody and like, man, you should really sell this. Like that it was actually a restaurant owner who I'm friends with. I gave him a sample and he's like, man, you should sell this. This is phenomenal. This is a phenomenal cake, right? So my goal is, and it's a very low effort goal. Can I sell $1,000, which is not that much, worth of cake using my competition recipe, right? That's basically it. So right, we got 2 goals, right? Get to 245 and see if we can make $1,000 extra cash using something that people are already telling me that I should try to sell, right? Very, very, very simple goals. Very simple goals, right? So this kind of review. My eventual goal is to get to 200 pounds. I'm at 249.2. We're going to have a little miniature goal. Right now, we're going to try to go to 245, right? Then we have a financial goal, because when you got extra cash, it gives you more freedom, less stress. So I have an item that I make already that people tell me I should sell. We're going to see if we can actually sell it, right? We're going to actually take them up on that suggestion, see if we can sell it, right? I am convinced, guys, most people have been told how to make money. Let me give you an example. Everyone does something that somebody says, oh man, you should sell that, or you should do that for money, or you should do like something along those lines. I am very convinced that everyone has a particular talent that they don't really think of in terms of making money with, and somebody will make the comment like, "Oh man, you're pretty talented with that. You know what I mean?" I'm convinced. I'm trying to think of a few things. Um, yeah, like my one buddy. He now this isn't like a sexy career, but when he was like 15, he could like he knew how to like change brakes. Now this is at 15 years old. Brakes. He knew how to change all the fluids in vehicles, and everyone told him he should be a car mechanic, and now he runs a shop for a very large corporation, right? So this is just what I mean by I think everyone is told if you just follow your talents, eventually you'll do something that someone's like, oh, you should do that for money. That's just my experience. Um, and not what you think. See, here's the thing. This is where the most people I think fuck up. Most people try to make money doing something they want to do, right? What I just said is that other people are telling me that they would pay me to do that, right? There's a difference. You gotta. That's where I think a lot of people fuck up. They try to make money doing something. Try to make money doing something they wish they could do. Like let me use video games. A lot of people want to make money playing streaming video games. But if you actually, like, I was actually watching an interview with, what's his name? Asmongold. And it was very interesting because he said he originally, what happened was he was playing video games and people just started paying him, right? It wasn't like he went into it thinking, I'm going to make a bunch of money on it. It was people found him, liked him, and started giving him money. And then he realized, hey, I can do this for a living. I think that's kind of what I'm trying to get at. A bunch of people tried to... and then people are like, oh, I want to do that, not realizing he had a talent. People wanted to pay him for that talent, and he said, okay, capitalize. So, like I said, I just think people should follow not their hobbies, but just do stuff. And when you find something that people say, hey, I'd pay you for that, go for it. Just that's my thinking. I could be totally full of shit. Like I said, we're gonna find out. We're gonna see if I can make do $1,000 worth of selling a product that people say I should already be selling. Okay, it's just a little experiment. $1,000. That's not a hard goal. We'll do like a whole episode of how I should get. I'm gonna say 20 cakes. $50, $55 per cake. 20 cakes. Some people are like, that's a lot. No, it's not. Seen the price of eggs. Anyways, these are just again. This is journaling, guys. This is random thoughts, right? So, what other things happened today? All right, let me kind of go into like how do we make this happen, right? And I think I've talked about this before. Living by a schedule is like the best way, in my opinion, to like progress in life. You kind of basically live the same day over and over, but by doing that, every little day pushes you 1% closer to the goal, right? So let's kind of think about like dream day, right? And then we gotta force this into existence, right? So 4 a.m. and my alarm is set to this. 4 a.m. I wake up, okay? Wake up, do stuff, washroom, weigh yourself. Actually, one more. Let me put my current weight here. My current weight is, so I don't, before 259.2 lbs. Cool, right? We know where I'm at. Wake up at 4 a.m. Okay. I was up at 3:45 to 4 this morning, actually. 5 o'clock. Okay, so 5 o'clock is when we start the improvement. I'm gonna do one or two things. We're gonna either do a weightlifting or Bathmate. Oops. And weightlifting for me is on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. And then Bathmate is Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, Sundays, right? So I'm not gonna do the weightlifting because today is a Tuesday. So what is what? So I just decided we're gonna do. Actually, let me go through the schedule and then we're gonna talk about the Bathmate session I did. I promised in this video a new Bathmate routine that I'm doing, and I think we will discuss that. So 5 to, we'll say, and then 7 o'clock work. Right? I usually finish up at the gym at 6, take a shower, leave there about 6:30, get to work at 7, work. Right? Even though work has been slow and I've been taking off time to help my family member, this was ideally. So 7, we'll say 7 to 4, that's work, that is time I have dedicated. And then after that we got, 5 to 8, maybe 6 to 8. I'll say 6 to 8 because usually between 4. Yeah, you know what? 4 to 5, 4 to 6. Okay, this is important. 4 to 6 guys. This is like dinner, housework, bullshit that you gotta do. Which I actually want to talk about housework goes to the women. Okay, and I'm gonna explain why because they are. I don't think it's attractive when you're a pig, and I don't think. And if the girl is okay with you being a pig, it's a turn off for me, right? So if it's like, oh, just find a girl who doesn't care. Well, if you don't care, then I don't care for her. That's basically what I'm saying. And then 6 to 8, we're going to say we're going to work on the cake business, right? We're going to work on the cake business. Okay? And then after 8 o'clock, which is now, right? Now, 8 o'clock my time, we'll do a little logging. And then we'll go to bed and we'll repeat this fucking day over and over again until we get those 2 goals done, right? So this is what I mean by implementation. Now, I got to do this every day. I mean, it's okay to plan it out, but you got to do it every day. You got to do it fucking every day, okay, until this hits. And this includes dieting and all this stuff, right? But let's talk about the new Bathmate routine, right? So we're going to call this Bathmate 1, right? Because I just started logging this today. Bathmate 1 out of 100. This is not obviously gonna probably maybe overlap. We'll put like 300, 100 Bathmate. I don't know if that's a great goal or not. Alright, yeah. So here's the new Bathmate routine that we are doing. So I do a 5 minute warm up. Okay. And then I do 50 scrotum stretches. And then I do 5 minutes of Bathmate. Right? And I'm going to break this apart. So during this, what does this 5 minutes look like? So we do the initial pump. And then at 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I do another pump. And then 4 minutes and 30 seconds, I do one last pump. Okay? That's the first 5 minutes. Okay? And then I got it right here. I put on this little cock ring. Okay? I put this on, keeps the blood in, and while that's on, I do another 50 scrotum stretches. Right? Then I do, now this is the new thing I'm doing, Okay, and I got this from Hank. And Bathmate does not recommend this, so this is just me. I do a 7 minute and 30 second pump. Right? So I do the initial pump. Then I do one at another, pump a little bit more at 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Then pump at 5 minutes, and then do one last pump at 7 minutes, and then just hold it for 30 seconds. Release. Again, we put the cock ring on. Then we do a 5 minute session, 50 scrotum stretches. And I do these stretches, guys. because they keep the testicles from getting sucked into the Bathmate, which really hurts. And then I do a 5 minute one, another 5 minute one, same thing as this. And then what I do is, after that, I put this on, leave it on for 30 minutes, and that's the routine, right? 30 minute cockering, and I take it off, okay? And I have to say, so I did this routine today. This is the first time I've done it, and this was the results. The length is, like, I didn't gain any, like, new length in terms of, like, oh god, I think I was just a little bit under 19 centimeters. Is it centimeters or millimeters? I think it's centimeters. I use standard. It's about 7.5 inches in English. But the thickness, my thickness looked incredible. I took a couple pictures. I'll probably put them on the. I'll probably put them on the blog. Sorry, somebody's smoking and they set off a fire alarm. It's not my dogs barking. Oh boy. Teddy, be quiet. I'm sorry about that, guys. Like I said, somebody's smoking and they set off the fire alarm in the apartment next door. Anyways, looked really thick. Looked really, really thick. Okay, and like I said, I took some pictures, and I thought I was like, okay, this looks good. This looks good. I'm gonna try this for 100 sessions, and we're gonna see what. Like right now, my thickness is 5.5 circumference. Okay, and 6 is like the golden standard. So like if I get like another half inch, I'd pretty much in terms of thickness I'd be done. Like in terms of length, I'm done. Like another half inch in thickness, I'd be really done. So that's kind of what I am working on. Now, boy, we gotta make some more room here. Alright, we're gonna finish this up. Okay? So, a couple things I want to work on tomorrow outside of my, wake up at 4, go to tomorrow's a gym day, gym, work on the cake business, and then do one of these logs. Okay? So, this is a couple things. I want to work on this is for the cake business, USP, unique selling proposition. And this is actually, I'm going to explain what this is, because this took me a long fucking time to understand. Okay, it took me a long time to fucking understand. This is a business concept. Actually, you could use this as a dating concept too. It's basically what they're asking. Like when somebody asks you what you're in business or in dating, what they're asking for your unique selling proposition is they're asking what makes you unique, what makes you different from the other person. So let me use a really good example of what I thought of a unique selling proposition is, and I'll say it. So you got hundreds of different hamburger joints all throughout the United States, right? But if I say the word Happy Meal, you instantly think of McDonald's, right? If you said I want a Happy Meal, you immediately think of McDonald's. Or a Big Mac, you immediately think of McDonald's, right? That's a unique selling proposition. It's a product or a service, or it might be even a gimmick that when you say it, people instantly know where to go to get it, right? So I'm just trying to think of like if I say stuffed crust pizza, you immediately think of Pizza Hut, right? Let me think here. I'm just trying to think of other. If I say in the fitness community, even though he got kind of exposed as a fraud, if I say a fitness influencer who has a PhD, you immediately think of Dr. Mike Isertel, right? Even though apparently his paper is a fraud, okay? This is a unique selling proposition. It's what makes you you unique to everyone else. And if you wanted to use it in dating, like if I have this, it's out of my vehicle, but I have this unique hat that actually gets a lot of compliments. But if it's a Dragon Ball Z hat, like I was surprised how many people really liked it. But if you said the guy with the Dragon Ball Z hat, people would instantly know it's me. Okay, that's a unique. It's just basically what makes you unique. That when you say the uniqueness, people instantly think of you. Right? They don't even need to know your name. They just instantly think of you. That's a UPS. Okay, that's. It took me a little while to like kind of understand this, because when I read it in a book, that how people often approach this subject is if you didn't have a name, how would people recognize you? And that's always that's always been a difficult question for me to answer. But if you ask what makes me unique and different than everyone else, that's easier to answer, right? I think it's easier to answer. Okay, so that's what I mean by a unique selling proposition. You could also use it in like let's talk about like the Bathmate. Um, if I say penis pump, we think of a lot. You could think of a lot of pumps, right? I could think of Bathmate. I could think of LA Pump. I could think of oh god, there's another one I just saw. You know, what I mean, a lot of them come to mind. But if you say a pump that uses water, generally speaking, you're gonna think Bathmate, right? Again, that's a unique selling proposition. It's just something that makes it unique, right? So this has kind of been on my mind, and um, what I want to do is really study this subject and come up with 20 things that make me unique, right? That's basically like a list of 20 things that make me unique. And I don't think people do this often enough. I think this is also why when people say you go with the flow, or if you do average, you get average results. It's because you're not trying to be unique, right? So that's kind of what a USB is, right? So that's one. Two, the second thing is I gotta go get Gorilla Mindset pre-workout drink tomorrow. I'm out, so I gotta get that. So another interesting story. Somebody just asked me what happened to Good Looking Loser. I don't think a lot of people realize that he co-owns Gorilla Mind, the pre-workout drink, with Derek from No Plates, No Dates. Like they're both co-owners, right? I don't know if one's a majority and one's a minority. I don't really know the exact legality, but they're partners in the business, right? So that's actually why I use the drink. And like these are like I said the two big things I need to do on top of my hit the gym tomorrow, go to work, and then work on like this little side business I'm thinking about doing to see if I can get to $1,000, because like I said, if you just join the stream, I have this. I do like baking on the sides for fun, and somebody ate something I made, and they're like, "You really should sell this." And I thought it would be an interesting challenge to see if I could sell it for sell $1,000 worth of products I make. I used to compete in baking when I was in my 20s, and I didn't do it for money. I just did it because I thought it was fun. And then I went and did other things. And recently I made something, and somebody's like, "Oh, you should really sell this, man." So that's basically it for the journaling of the day, guys. So I'm gonna kind of do a review, and that's gonna be it for today's journal. So, anyways, I kind of started off here. What are the 6 big goals I'd eventually like to get? 6-pack, 100 lays, cash millionaire, right? And we're gonna start off the weight one. My weight's kind of spiked over the last few months due to just some very stressful living. So I'm at 259.2 pounds, and a little mini goal for the next, I don't know if it's going to be 6 weeks or 6 months, but probably 6 weeks. We're going to try to get down to 254 pounds, and then we're going to try to do trying to make $1,000, just trying to sell something on the side. Sorry, my throat's a little dry. And we're gonna live the same day, and it's gonna be boring, but we're gonna try to live the same day for the next several months. You know, wake up at 4 a.m., either do weightlifting. At 5 a.m., either do weightlifting or a Bathmate session. Then 7 to 4 is work. 6 to 8, 4 to 6 is going to be, housework, about boring shit. 6 to 8, this little side business. And then 8 o'clock every night, we're going to try to log the progress. In the current session, the Bathmate, to kind of conclude the current Bathmate session I'm doing, we just did the first day of this new routine, is 5-minute warm out. Basically, it's almost like what I have been doing, but instead of doing 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes in the Bathmate, it's 5 minutes, 7 minutes and 30 seconds, and then 5 minutes. And we are doing a little cock ring play just to kind of keep the blood trapped in there between pumps. So that's basically what we are going to be doing for the next several weeks. And don't worry, I have pictures of myself so you guys can see like the progress I'm making, both weight-wise and with this. But that's day. We're gonna just put here. That's day 1, guys. It's day 1. That's all the things and notes and ideas that I have been running with today. So that is it. So if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments, and then tomorrow's live stream, I will take time and answer those questions. That will be part of my logging. So anyways, guys, that's it for the day, and I will see you guys on the next live stream. Later.